All right, welcome back. I'm excited to be here with you guys today. What I'm going to share with you is an exercise that I take all of my clients through. It opens up a lot of possibility for them. So I'm going to take you through it as well. And I'm going to share my screen here. There. Share. Okay, so I hope you can see that. Pretty sure you can. So all right, so scientists believe that only 1% of all knowledge that will ever be discovered has been discovered. Just 1%. And so, but for the practicality of this exercise, we're going to apply the 80-20 rule, which says 20% of all knowledge that will ever be discovered has been discovered. Okay, so I'm going to draw this circle here. And this circle is going to represent all human knowing. And I'm going to divide it off into about 20%. And I'm going to divide that one off into about 10%. So in this 10%, and this is known as I know that I know. So I know that I know. So this is what this looks like. The first half of my life, I was a software engineer. So I know that I know how to write software. I was also a basketball coach. I know that I know how to coach basketball. So what are some things that you know that you know? This other space, this other 10% is I know that I don't know. So the client's the top vascular surgeon in the area. So I can tell you, I know that I don't know how to write software. I also know that I don't know how to be an auto mechanic. What are some things that you don't know? Most people spend their entire life in this space of I know that I know and I know that I don't know. They just oscillate back and forth between each of these. For instance, for example, if you said, hey, Brent, in the fifth grade, do you know how to do fractions? And I would have told you in the fifth grade, I know that I know how to do fractions. However, if you were to ask me today, hey, Brent, do you know how to do fractions? I would tell you, I know that I don't know how to do fractions. I would probably have to YouTube it before it, was able to be recalled. But most people spend their entire life in that space, and I call this the drift. This is the drift of life. In fact, many people, many talented people, they spend their entire life in the drift, from birth into the grave. And those talented people, on their headstone, you might as well just put meant in box, because they didn't do anything with their lives, even though they were ridiculously talented. So that's, I know that I know, and I know that I don't know realm, the drift. What's available out here in this space out here? What's available there? See, this space is called I don't know that I don't know. And this is the human blind spot. Is I don't know that I don't know. But in the space of I don't know that I don't know, what then is possible? All things are possible. And in this realm, just because you can just step into this space, then you can step into a realm where all things are possible. I call this the realm of discovery. So I want to make a distinction here. two words. There's learn in any facet of it, and then there's discovery. So learning is the acquisition of knowledge. You're just collecting knowledge, collecting information. Discovery is like the aha moment. I'll give you an example. So how many of you were told the stove was hot? So mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, somebody added that to your knowing, right? It got added up in here. I know that I know the stove is hot. When did you discover the stove was hot? When you touched it. That's phenomenological versus epistemological. Epistemological is just the acquisition of knowing. And if you have spent any time reading the works of King Solomon in the Bible, he called it utterly worthless. It's the chasing after the wind, the acquisition of knowledge. However, he does say in Proverbs 4:7, that's on the hat here, that wisdom is the principal thing, so get wisdom. Well, what's the difference? You obtain wisdom through the phenomenological experience of it, the lived experience of it. So what area of your life right now can you come out here and create a new possibility for yourself in the area of relationships, the area of finances, the area of business, maybe it's school? What's an area that you can just write down real quick and step out into all things are possibleville out here in the realm of discovery? So I'll just pick one, right? So I'm in the process of repricing my business. And so I'm just going to put business down just for me. Okay. So this realm of knowing, or the drift, creates a perspective prison that we see all things through, and it blocks us. It's a barrier we've built against moving from here into the realm of discovery. So what are the barriers that we built, the perspective prisons? So they're going to look something like this. I am not enough. I am not lovable. I am not safe. I am alone. And the last one, it's all up to me. Those are the 5 major ones, and they're at adaptations early in life as a child that your nervous system created in a means to protect you. And so one of the business barriers that I had to tear down in the creating, or in order for me to get in business into this realm of discovery, was I had built a perspective prison that I was not enough. I didn't believe in myself enough. And if I didn't believe in myself, then nobody else would either. And so part of the skill set of trying to get from the drift into the realm of discovery is identifying which one of those perspective prisons that you're currently living in. Because all suffering, right, either in business, in relationships, whatever it is, even in health, all suffering exists only in perspective. Because you're seeing everything through I am not enough. And what's really weird is because that's the frame to which we see things through, I had created barriers that would keep me in that same space. So step one is being able to identify the frame or the perspective that you've built a barrier through. I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not safe, I'm alone, it's all up to me. I had a lady in my office on Sunday who had come in for some treatment, and we were having a discussion, and me just listening her what was coming out of her mouth, I realized, I was like, wow. And I asked her, I was like, what would it be like for you if you could exist in a world where it's not all up to you? She sat down on the table. She told me, she's like, I honestly don't know. I don't know. And like I was telling her, is you're going to have to give up your addiction to the perspective prison in order to dissolve it. So step one, you got to be able to identify it. You got to be able to see it, become self-aware of it. And then two is step into that space and use the double negative. What would it be like for you in a world where you are not, where, you know, it's not all up to you, or not all up to you? What would it be like for you there? And just stand there and look around. And what you'll discover is there's space. You can literally feel your shoulders just sink into calm. And she was right. She's like, I don't know what it would be like. She's been in that prison so long. She had no idea. So you have to be able to notice it, but then you got to be able to give up the addiction to the perspective prison. You've got to have the desire to want to step out there into the realm of discovery, into that space where it's not all up to me. But I don't know. She had the answer right, because the reality is you don't know. And it's okay. And we had some brilliant people throughout history who have stepped into that space of I don't know. Thomas Edison, or, you know, the Wright brothers. Like, I mean, the fact that we can get, you know, almost, was it 998,000 pounds, is a 767 plane off. That's including fuel and people. How is it that can happen? But it couldn't have happened if they had lacked the courage to step into and outside of that perspective prison and into, you know, the realm of discovery. And as a result of it, we've got, I mean, just incredible planes today. Incredible. So let me ask you, if for me, you know, what's available for me if, because mine is I am not enough. And so I had to tear down that barrier by saying, hey, what's possible for me out there if I am not enough? That means I am enough. And all things are possible. And then the third thing that we have to do, one is you got to recognize it. Two, you got to develop the courage to step into that space and use the double negative of I am not enough, and what is possible for me out there. And then three, take action. And here's what this looks like. It's in my book. It's called The Law of Force, but F equals MA. So what we want to do is we need a massive amount of action in a short period of time in order to create enough force to move the needle in our favor. So, what is the massive action that you can take in a short period of time that creates enough force that it moves the needle in your favor? I'll close with this. We're going to draw two tombstones here. Okay. And we're going to RIP, the word how, and the word but. Those two three-letter words, keep people stuck more than any other word in the English language. So we're going to replace the word how with what steps, and the word but with and. I want to start a business, but I lack resources. Well, that just killed possibility. It just murdered it. However, you swap that word but out with the word and. I want to start a business and I need resources. Well, and just because becomes another thing, right? I have to find resources. It's just another step in the process. And then with the how, don't ask how. How will literally keep you just in a constant loop of acquiring more and more information. We don't want information. We want steps. What steps do I got to take? Step one, boom, that's what I do. Step two, boom, that's what I do. And so depending on where you're stuck, whether it be in relationships or business or school or whatever it is, swap those two words out. What steps do I need to take? Then it turns into how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. We just take the first step. And then once you take the first step, take the next step. And take the next step. And take the next step. And do it quickly. Like moving the needle in your favor, especially at the beginning, to build that momentum, it takes a lot of force to do it. So you got to have a lot of action in a short period of time. And I would define both. Here are the actions that I need to take. If you don't know, you can go to any large language model and ask them what steps, here's where I'm at. What steps do I need to take? This is where I'm going. And it will outline steps for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to take the action. So, told you to leave with that. I hope you found the exercise helpful. But really, anywhere you're stopped in life, pay attention, because there's a frame or a perspective prison that is stopping you. And so in order for you to get past it, one, you've got to recognize it, got to be able to see it. Two, dissolve it with the double negative. What's available if I am not enough? Three, need to take massive action in a short period of time to create enough force to move the needle in our favor. Till next time, stay blessed by the best.